really optimize your lineup and keep it moving. Hey, it's Ben. No problem. Glad you stopped by to say what's up. Hope work isn't too bad today. So, getting into Pikmin management, there's a couple things that you have to really understand before you get into it. First off, that's what the Pikmin do, and then what character you're fighting, and to a further extent, what stage you're on, because it can always it can influence your lineup. You know, there's a lower ceiling, then you might be more inclined to go for a blue grab, or if there's a higher one, you might want to kill off the side and things like that. Thanks, Ben. Have a good day. So I'm gonna go into training mode real quick, and I'm just gonna show you the different Pikmin, what they do each, and then I'll get into how you'll manage them certain ways. Wow, it gave me out for random. So there are 5 Pikmin colors. There is red, yellow, blue, as you see here, and you will always start with red, yellow, blue when you start a game. It always plucks in that order specifically, so you always have this lineup, and then from there you'll get white and then purple. And then after the purple, it'll pluck back to red, and it always follows that set order. So it's always red, yellow, blue, white, purple, and then after that, it's immediately back to red. So you have that set order of colors. So you're always going to start the game off with the red, yellow, blue. So because you do that, you can already kind of get a game plan going from the moment the game starts, right? But before I get into that, let me talk about what the Pikmin do. So red Pikmin have every Pikmin color has different attributes to it, has strengths and weaknesses. Red Pikmin, their strength is that they hit 20% harder with their smashes and aerials. So let me show you right here. A forward smash does 17% with the red, right? Forward smash with the yellow, it only did 14% because he was at 30. He was at 17 already. I'll show you again. Does 14%. So that's 20% extra damage that you get off that. It does that for all smashes and all aerials with reds. So they're pretty good for killing, right? But the drawback of reds, and if you look at it from a very straightforward perspective, it seems like a drawback, but it's actually a benefit at times, is that they have less knockback on their throws. So let me show you. Down throw. You see he got a little bit closer. They have 20% less knockback on throws and damage on throws. Damage and knockback are always paired together. So if they have higher knockback or less knockback, they always have higher or less damage as well. So what this means is that reds serve the purpose of having strong kill power. They do good damage. And at higher percents, you can get throw combos where you normally couldn't. Because whereas a yellow, a blue, a white, or a purple might send them too far off of a down throw, since the red has reduced knockback, it's going to allow you to combo off that easier because they're going to go less. They're going to go less far, less distance after you throw them. They also have a fire immunity, which is pretty important for certain characters. For example, if Nest PK fires and you throw a red Pikmin, it's going to go through it. But if you throw a yellow, it's going to stop it. So that fire immunity can come into play in certain matchups and allow you to kind of just eat through an opponent's attack or tank it, and they won't take any damage. So that's really important. Moving on to yellow. The yellows have a neutral damage on everything. They have, standard damage on attacks, on smashes and aerials, standard attacks on grabs, or on throws. But what they have, and they don't really have any downside, is that they have 25% larger hitboxes. So think of hitboxes in this game as circles. Everything is a circle or an ellipses at some point. So it's never a square. It's like a circle, right? If this is a red, a yellow is just 25% larger. So what that and that's on smashes and aerials. So what that means is where you normally wouldn't be able to, maybe a fair won't hit someone. Here, let me see if I can get a specific spacing. All right, let me get right out the range of it. So that doesn't hit. That did. That was a good example of the tip of that just hitting longer, because yellows have larger hitboxes. So their animations look the same. They travel the same distance. So when I forward smash, they go the same distance. But the yellow's hitbox is bigger. Another benefit they have is, since they're electric, they have the electrical property on them, which causes longer hit stun and hit lag. Now, something that's unique to Olimar is normally when you hit someone, hit lag is shared. So if I jab you with Olimar, we're both in hit lag for a certain amount of time, and then you go into hit stun after. Well, Olimar doesn't actually suffer any hit lag from doing his smashes. Because they're separate projectiles, when you attack with them, you just finish your animation, essentially. So if I hit someone, there's no hit lag. I'm still doing what I'm doing, regardless if they get hit. So actually, something that's cool is yellows will give more hit lag and then more hit stun because they're electric property. Except Olimar, when you smash with them, Olimar will have no extra hit lag, which can allow you to combo off smashes at low percent. Let me, there's a combo called the Astral Slam, where I believe it's a red down throw to yellow F smash to blue regrab. You might be able to change the grab thing, and then you follow up off the down throw with the blue, or the up throw, however you want to do it at certain percents, usually down throw. But the point is, because the yellow has such good hit stun and hit lag on it, it keeps them in stun longer, allowing you to follow up longer. So yellow's primary purpose is for good combos. You can get extra combos off of it where you couldn't normally with other Pikmin, and the range. They excel especially at the ledge. So when Olimar down smashes, let me zoom in for you. When Olimar down smashes, I'll actually knock him away and get. When Olimar down smashes, he sends 2 Pikmin out, right? Like I was saying earlier, their hitboxes are circles, and since they ride along the ground, their hitbox actually goes into the stage. So when you fight someone, their hitbox often, when they're recovering, it oftentimes go through the stage when they're recovering, or when they're 2-framing. So what you can do is down smash with any color, but what's especially potent about yellows is, since their hitboxes are larger, you're able to down smash. You're able to down smash, and it's going to hit farther down, and make it easier to catch their 2-frame, or make it easier to catch them when they're recovering. So if they're good for characters where you need to be using max spacing on aerials or smashes, just to hit the tip, or you want extra hit stun or hit lag to really keep a lingering hitbox out, or like get extra combos, or when you're edge guarding anyone for that matter, because their extra range can really make a difference in edge guarding someone to make it a lot easier. Now moving on to blues, they have no strength increase on smashes or aerials. They do neutral damage just like yellows, but they have they have actually 60% increased damage and knockback on throws. So let me show you a yellow, and then I'll show you a purple or a blue. So that's a yellow down throw. You saw there was a considerable amount difference there. The damage was also higher as well. So blue's main purpose is you can get optimal damage combos a lot of the time, the most damage out of something, especially if you're doing a simple down throw aerial combo and you're not doing a large series of follow-ups. You can do down throw into purple up smash, for example. Let me show you. Olimar might be able to dodge it, but I don't think so. So because blues have the most, they have the most damage, you can do something like that. Quick 30. If I would have gotten if I would have jump canceled that and gotten the proper spot, it would have been a quick 30. Oh wait, there's no stale. There's no fresh bonus. So yeah, that can do 32% damage fresh in a match. So blues are great for high damage throws since they have the most damage and knockback. Throw combos they set up for a lot of good damage at low percents, and then they're used for throw killing at higher percents. Up throw being your primary kill throw, and then forward throw being a DI mix-up if you grab someone at the ledge. Say I grab someone right here and they're at a higher percent. Just chuck them off the side. Forward throw is a almost unreactable throw because it's so fast. It might be unreactable actually because it's so fast, and a lot of the times people will hold out because they're trying to DI up throw because that's the optimal way, and then you can catch them off guard with the DI, forward throw them and kill them at the ledge at a lower percent than up throw than it normally would have killed. So that's the blues. They don't really have any weakness. Oh, talking back to yellows, they also have electric immunity as well. So similar to how PK Fire. It could be by a red Pikmin. You throw a yellow through, Arc Thunder or something like that. It's just going to go through it. So blues don't really have an immunity. I think they actually technically have an immunity to Corrin's Counter Surge, and I think maybe Greninja's Nair. I think those are the only 2 water type moves. But they can be very tanky in that, and they don't really drown, unlike the other Pikmin. Do you like to throw blue ever? Yeah, Yeah, I'm going to get into that. Right now in Civil, I'm just talking about all the different Pikmin properties and what they do. And then I'm going to get into the general management style and how I go about it. But I want to let everyone know what each Pikmin does so that I can explain why I'm using them in certain scenarios. So that's red, yellow, blue. So now we're getting into the ones you don't start out with. White. Whites have they have 20% less damage and knockback on smashes and aerials, but they have a couple unique things about them. One, they do the most side B damage, which is 3.7% a tick compared to the 1.1% of red, yellow, and blue. So they do 3.7% a tick, and they tick, I believe, 11 times at 0% if you're not pressing any buttons to mash out of it. So what, they have that unique thing, and then they also have, the purple would do just fine. So let me show you. They also have the strongest pummel. Does it have water immunity versus Greninja attacks? The only attack from Greninja that I believe is actually technically water is his Nair. I think his Fair and Smashes are aerials, and maybe Hydro Pump. I'm not sure how that's counted. So when you grab with Olimar, his pummel normally does 2%, right? I grab 2, 2, 2, 2, right? If you grab with a white, 4, 4, 4, 4. So it does double the damage of the regular pummel. And now the good thing about that is it does standard grab damage, 1.0. There's no modifier on it. But because that's the extra pummel damage, just getting in 1 or 2 extra pummels and then throwing can make it equivalent to that damage of a blue grab, right? So grabbing with them is also good. And there's one more reason grabbing is really good with them. I think Water Shuriken's physical. I'm not sure. One of the reasons whites are also good is they have the longest grab range. But I think it's about by like an 8th or 16th. That's one of those. I know there's a bit of a difference, but I don't remember exactly how it was measured. So here's a white. There's the white. Yellow, white. So you can see there's a good amount of grab length that you get from the white that can really make it such a potent tool for grabbing people, especially the pivot grab, where you can just have so much extra range. It can make it a very strong defensive tool to stop approaches. So that's white's use. They do the most side B damage. They have the strongest pummel and the most grab range. Other than that, they're weak hitters, and you're usually not going to want to attack with them in terms of a smash or an aerial. So generally, grabs or side B is your best tool for them. But sometimes you will use regular attacks. Now we get to purple. Purples are personally my favorite, and they hit harder than anyone else. They have a 40% damage and knockback increase on smashes and aerials. So let me show you. So they have a 40% increase on smashes and aerials, and they have neutral grab damage. However, they have a couple downsides that can be heavily mitigated if you know what you're doing. Their first downside is that they travel less distance when you smash with them. So what that means is, let me show you. I'm going to forward smash with the red, forward smash with the purple. That's roughly half the distance, right? So they go far less distance with a smash, but that's really only super important for forward smash. They also, although they go less distance traveled, they still have the same frame data. All Pikmin have the same frame data on attacks. So even though I might only get half the distance to the purple, I still have the 9 active frames of attack, or I believe it's 8 active frames. It's actually longer than that. I don't know the exact number, but you still have the same amount of frames as the attack. So it still lingers just as long and just travels less distance. So in an instance where, maybe you're right here, you forward smash to the red, it still lingers there. Forward smash to the purple, still lingers there. It just travels less distance. And then for down smash, it travels less distance, but it's still rather good because it hits close up. Up smash, it travels the same distance. So that benefit, or that drawback isn't too huge of one. You can work around that with really good spacing and awareness of your opponent. Their other drawback, and this is something not many people know about, is they have a slower recovery time on down throw with purple specifically. So earlier I told you they have neutral grab damage, so you would think, oh, you can grab off them even though they have less grab range, right? And you can. But the thing is, when you down throw with them... Oh. They take a couple frames longer, which can actually sometimes mess up your combo off down throw. However, something they can do, something they have over the other colors, is if you back throw, they actually have... you can actually act slightly faster. So it's like a trade-off almost. You act faster off of back throw with the purple, but slower off a down throw. So at low percent, you can do something like this. If you wanted to catch your opponent off guard and you didn't want to down throw them. And then purples do 6% off of their side B. They don't latch on, and they have a physical hitbox, and it'll knock people away, and it does 6% fresh. And then, sorry. And then like whites, purple does not have an elemental immunity. As for health, it gets, it is... Let me double check so I don't get it wrong. I believe it's 7% for whites. And then 7% for whites, 9% for red and yellows. 11% for blues, and 13 for purples. Purples with the most health, 13. Blues with the second most, red and yellow with the standard, and then white with the least. So those are the varying healths they have and how much damage it'll take to kill them. Let me just double check this for you guys so I give you the accurate information. Oh, correction. Red and yellow have 8%, not 9%. My bad. So, with that said, you will always have, you know, those are the different Pikmin, and those are ways you can, you know, those are the general things you want to look out for. Reds hit hard with more range and have good down throw potential for combos, a higher percent, because they have less knockback. Purples hit the hardest out of anything for smashes and aerials, and generally will kill earlier than anything else, while also having strong aggressive presence or defensive pressure with their side B, allowing you to either go aggro or defend off someone by throwing a purple and retreating. The yellows have extra range and hit stun and hit lag, allowing you to get extra combos and space people out very well as edgeguard more efficiently than the other Pikmin because of their extra range. Blues have does hitting Pikmin stale moves? I don't think so, but I could be wrong. I don't think hitting him stale it, but don't quote me on that though. I would ask Ruben or Kurgan a Hammer. What is it? Blues have the highest damage throw output. They do regular pummel damage, but they have the highest throw output on damage and knockback. So they're good for throw combos to get maximum damage, and they're good for killing with your throws. They're really your only kill throw Pikmin until higher percents. Whites are great for grabbing with, especially defensive pivot grabs, because you get a lot of range with good pummel damage to make up for their neutral grab damage. And then they do the most side B damage, 3.7% to 1.1 out of all side B. And then and then I already touched on purple. So that's all the colors. So let's talk about general character stuff. When you manage your Pikmin, it's kind of dependent on the matchup you're in, right? So, for instance, if I'm fighting Mario, I might go for a more standard, comfortable lineup that I prefer. You know, blue. My favorite lineup is double purple blue. It allows me a lot of versatility. It allows me to play super aggressive, super defensive. I have lots of kill power on deck. Double purple allows you to really pressure in if you need to. You have good kill power with the purple back airs, a purple smash, and then you have the blue Pikmin for throw combos and for kill throws. So you can all string that together and get a very fast-paced, coherent style that allows you to really control the pace of the game. Now, if I'm fighting someone like Peach, you might want to ditch blues because... Let me rephrase that. You might not want to ditch them, but you find a much weaker reliance on blues. Blue, white, purple is really good, yeah. I'm going to touch on that in a little bit. I'm just talking about some specific ones that are my favorite right now in Double Ninja. I'm going to give some good lineups after this. So, for Peach, because she hovers, she can oftentimes hover above your grab range, because your Pikmin rides along the ground. So she can hover above that, which means blues are far less effective since you're not going to be getting a ton of grabs. So, instead of going for blue, maybe you'll want to go for a yellow Pikmin. I personally like yellows against Peach because they have the extra range, So when you throw them out there with a fair or an F smash or something, it's going to go the same distance, but it's going to have that longer hit, it's going to have that bigger hitbox, which can help get to her before she gets to you, because generally peaches want to start pressuring you and stay on top of you. So you want to put out as many hitboxes as possible, keep range in your favor, and really keep her out there. And then the purples are generally good in every matchup. So I'm just going to go through a couple characters, and I'll kind of touch down on which Pikmin really can shine in each one, for example. Reds, I think some good examples for them are Ness, especially PK Fire, can block that. And then, Reds are pretty generally good all around because of their down throw potential at higher percents for down throw raw back air or down throw up air. Charizard's a good example. If you throw a Pikmin onto the right spot of Charizard that's red, it will block his Flare Blitz. So there's a couple of good examples of red Pikmin being really useful. Yellows, I think two that they're very exceptional in are Peach, because like I was saying before, the extra range allows you to kind of get to Peach before she gets to you even a little bit easier. And then Rosalina and Luma. Once again, the range really helps against the character who has a kind of a shield there protecting them and fighting. But it also, when you throw a smash attack into Luma with Yellow, for example, it already has increased hit stun and hit lag, and then even more so because it hits Luma, kind of really leaving the hitbox there to be active while Olimar doesn't suffer any extra lag with a smash. In addition to that, Rosalina and Luma also have very good... also have a very susceptible recovery to getting down smashed at the ledge. So Yellow is even more exceptional in that matchup because it's going to hit farther down. It's farther down into the stage, more out, poke off the ledge more, and find it even easier to hit their uppy when they're recovering. Blues are generally good against everyone. Like I said, there's a couple exceptions where you'll find a little bit less reliance on them, like Peach. But some really exceptional ones are characters that you're just gonna, that you might struggle to kill up close because you're not super confident fighting them. Maybe a Mario. Or a, what's another good one? A Mario or a Diddy Kong or something like that, where being up close can be a little bit scary, so you're going to kind of catch their approaches, and then you'll catch them with an up throw kill. Especially works well on the lighter characters. Kirby's a good example where they have to approach you, catch them with a blue grab, they're going to die very early. Whites, once again, they're kind of an everyman's Pikmin. They can really do the job in anything. They're going to cycle themselves fast naturally because they're lower health pool, and because people prioritize getting them off because they do so much more damage on the side B. But some really good ones they can work in is in a projectile-ish matchup. Say you're fighting a Duck Hunt or something, or a Link, and you're kind of like throwing projectiles back and forth. Olimar can pretty much out-camp anybody in a projectile war. Hey, King Coleman, how's it going? He can pretty much out-camp anybody in projectile war, so when you throw that you throw that white Pikmin on them, that's a ton of damage. They now prioritize that, and then whereas normally you might have struggled to get in before, if they want to get that off, they have to do an action, and then you can approach and then get onto them and start getting your damage. And then purples are good in every single matchup. They are the best Pikmin in my opinion. They serve the most purposes. They obviously don't have kill throws, and they're not the best for down throw combos, but the amount of options they open up, their easy access to killing, just kind of puts them at the tier list, for me in my opinion, of how useful they are. So those are kind of some characters that you get a general idea of when you can use Pikmin management, or like which colors you could want in each matchup. Now, some generally good lineups that you can work with are double purple anything. Double purple blue is honestly, in my opinion, the most ideal for a lot of matchups, just because it's super good. You have the versatility of the two purples, like I was saying earlier, but you also have you're not stunted by the fact that you don't have, or by having like a third purple, for instance. You still have a good grab, you still have good grab range with it. You can still do good grab combos. Three purples can be very good, and in some matchups it's exceptional because you're not relying off grabs and you can just keep the pressure rolling. But generally, you're going to find yourself with two purples in another color more so than three purples. Another good matchup, or another Olimar can out-camp Rob. Yeah, you can. Another good lineup is blue, white, purple, and that's because not only is the lineup strong because of each Pikmin's attributes that they bring to the table, but the order they come in allows you to really get something going. A lot of the times, people won't mash an attack out of a down throw or something like that, or they can't because they're in hit stun or something like that. So you could blue down throw, jump white side B, and then immediately purple fair. And what that does is that throws the white onto them. They get fared still. Then you can immediately dash grab them at lower percents. You get another regrab and then down throw and then either up air or back air depending on their DI. And they're eating guaranteed 60% from 0 if it's done properly on the right character. Because some characters doesn't work on. So that's a really strong combination because if you get the white Pikmin last onto them before you get a blue down throw and then a purple aerial, it's just tons of damage. So that's another good one. I know one that Shuton really likes is blue, red, purple, or red, blue, purple. He is a fan of red Pikmin, for instance, whereas I find them to be my least useful ones outside of their very niche uses, like the down throw or back air. But he likes that one. I think he likes the added kill power of red while also having the range. And then having a purple is kind of a... You always want at least one purple, generally, because the utility, like I've been saying, it really does come in handy in getting people off you, pressuring, forcing shield, things like that, and then blue again for kill throws for damage purposes. Another good lineup is yellow, blue, purple. I like that one a lot as well. Because the yellow allows you to do really good tight spacing things where you get right out of things, and then it can also, you know, if you're down throw with a blue and then aerial with a purple, send them off stage, then you have the yellow to get access to that down smash at the ledge and that kind of extra spacing thing. So sometimes you'll see me, you know, keep a yellow when you would think, oh, why is he getting rid of it? I like the yellow there for its extra range. It's easier, you know, 2-frame time, or hitting a 2-frame and things like that, the bigger hitbox and things like that. So there's generally some good lineups. I mean, there's like you're always going to be mix and matching. You're always going to be changing your lineup up middle of the match and things like that. So it can definitely change. But those are some really good ones and ways you can work those lineups really well. What matchup is good for triple purple? Ganondorf. Ganondorf against triple purple is a death wish. It can do really well against Sheik because you can out pressure her very well. A lot of the heavies can't deal with triple purple very well. Does really good against... I'm just looking at the cast right now. You can do pretty good against Cloud as well. Bayo's is... because Witch Time. Does really good against Ryu. Although having a non-purple is nice to deal with focus attack. It can deal with Diddy well as also... It can deal with Diddy as well. It can deal with almost every character. It's just sometimes having that extra Pikmin for a grab is really well. You can still out-camp Rob. Like, you can throw more stuff than he can throw, and you can throw it at different angles where he's usually stuck to either a laser, which has to charge, or a gyro, which he can only shoot one direction. Like, he can't, like, jump and then arc it as much as you can or throw it up and things like that. You can also grab his gyro and then out-camp him even harder. So, with that... Duck Hunt? What do you mean? Triple purple's wreck him? Oh, yeah. What's the lineup for Shulk? Double purple. Double purple blue is, I think, the ideal one. Maybe double purple red if they're nearing the down throw roar back air percent. Because you can get a down throw roar back air, which will work on a lot of characters for to a higher percent of their heavy. That's really good because the double purple out pressures him very hard. The red allows you to get it down throw roar back air. Once he gets out of that, switch the red to a blue, and you're pretty good. So I'm just gonna fight like a CPU real quick. And just show some general tactics. I want to do a character without a reflector. What if you're in shield art? Then I want a blue, because I'll down throw or back air you with the blue, or down throw up air you with the blue, because you'll be at so high percent. So, well, we're going into this. Like I said, you always start the match with red, yellow, blue. So, this is where you have to look at it and you have to go, alright, how do I want to play? You'll notice if you ever watch my sets that I almost always start out the game immediately jump side B. Because I always want to get some level of pressure going. I want to start getting my lineup moving. And I want to try and keep my opponent on their toes. It's a lot of, I want to like a lot of moving parts all the time. Even when I have my own lineup, just see it shifting. So I'll show you what I'm talking about right here. Throw red, yellow. So you saw I immediately throw the red yellow. I want the blue in front now. And the reason I want the blue in front is because I threw the red yellow. The red latched, the yellow missed, and that's fine. I want the blue because I want optimal down throw percent damage, which would be, you know, there are combos you can do with other colors and all that to probably get more damage. But in the most straightforward sense, like blue into this is going to do the most grab damage. And that's going to make a big difference. So, you know, you see throw. It's a lot of, like, constantly shifting your lineup. You'll see when people recover, they'll throw a Pikmin a lot. Pluck, you always want to try and have 3 Pikmin unless you're going for something very specific. Throw. You saw I jump. So I pluck the purple, I jump, and I side beat. And that's because I want the purple in front, and I didn't want to hit them with a blue fair because it's going to have lag. But Olimar's side B has very little lag. Its first active frame is 25, so it's very little. So I get that, and then I have the purple, and then I can start hitting with that. Grab, down throw, up air. I throw the red off because it's got less use at this point. Like, yeah, I could down throw our back air, but when he was at the ledge there, I wanted the yellow. I take a stock, and the first thing I do a lot of the time is I'm going to put the blue if I have a blue in front. You'll see I often throw my reds off stage in between stocks because they find I find less use for them, especially at low percents, because I have a purple, I have a blue. Their damage is irrelevant to me if I have a purple, unless I need the fire immunity. So I put the blue in front because, once again, I want the optimal down throw combo. Damage. Oop. So you see there's a lot of side B in between while I'm approaching. Up air is your best tool generally for shifting your lineup while you're moving, because it has a very easy to do auto cancel timing. So you can short hop up air and it will end with no lag by the time you finish, or by the time you hit the ground, so you can run and jump and then shift your lineup immediately. See, there are a lot of throwing. Like, my lineup's always shifting, but that's fine because I know what it is. Like, I know what... I shouldn't say never, but oftentimes I'm thinking, like, okay, let's, you know, what kind of lineup do I want, you know? You need to be able to think fast with Olimar generally, because if you don't, then you're going to be too slow, and if you're having to think about your lineup in a specific way, you're not going to be able to figure it out. So generally just like throwing, getting it going, you know? Like, you see, it's just like a lot of options for me. And while I'm throwing my Pikmin, I'm always keeping track on them. Like, I've always got my eye on them. I always make sure to know what I'm plucking next. That's really important. Always know what you're plucking next, because you can get a lot of mix-ups on your opponent that way. Because they're often, you know, they'll watch your line, but they won't know exactly what Pikmin you have coming up next, right? So you can use that to an advantage. Come down from a stock, they don't know. Run, pluck a blue, grab them, or something like that. You know, run, pluck a purple, do an up air on their jump read and things like that. So I took a stock, go to the red. Now I have the purple again. Now I have the purple blue. Throw a yellow because I'm not too worried about hitting with that right now. Get the blue grab, purple up smash. Throw yellow again. Don't find a heavy reliance on one specific style either. You know, don't be like, oh, I can't throw a blue because I want to grab, right? Be like, all right, I can throw this blue right now to keep my pressure going, keep my lineup moving, get that purple in front. Throw, throw. Even though, you know, we have full stage, so I want to get throwing my Pikmin, and the reason I want to do that is because if he does somehow get over there faster, it's going to get some pressure on the board, and since I'm going that way and I'm throwing my Pikmin, it doesn't matter if they're, you know, if I threw them and they're out of my line, because I'm going to get them back because I'm running that way anyway. Get rid of the red. Throw yellow. Throw yellow again. Remember, trying to get that blue in front. If you notice you can't get a grab, that's fine. Shift your dynamic. You can still work other colors in uses that aren't there. No, I don't. I use yellows quite often. I would say they're. I think reds are the worst. I think reds have the most niche use. And the reason being, red's main purpose is down throw or back air, down throw up air, right? Like they hit. They're weaker than purples, so why would you ever need them if you have a purple? Outside of their down throw thing. Yellows have good range. Their extra hit stun and hit lag allow for good combos. Whistle my white back because I want to keep it. Grab. See, at high percents, you want to get pummels. Pummels with whites are very good because of their high damage output. They're gonna make up for the fact that you're not getting, you're not kill throwing with them, and you're not gonna get as much damage as a blue grab. Oh, I thought that was a blue. My bad. But no, I think yellows are really good. If I had to order the Pikmin, it would be purple, blue, yellow, white, red. I think yellows are very useful. I think not enough Olimars use them. One thing that I really dislike from a lot of the Olimars when it comes to their management is they'll try and copy. They'll try and copy Olimar, higher up Olimars like Shuton or something, without understanding why. They'll be like, "Oh, Shuton likes his red and gets rid of yellow, so I'm going to do that too." And it's like, well, I mean, if you have a reason to do that, that's fine. You know, at the end of the day, Pikmin management is really just a preference. But don't copy someone. Because, unless you understand why they're doing it, right? You want a colorblind Olimar? I mean, you could do it. All the Pikmin have different shapes. So, there's a cool trick that you can do. Let me get double purple. I gotta get some damage on this guy. Copy your for reverse mains without knowing why. I think that's a fringe case. That's fine. But if you play Olimar seriously, or you want to, like, understand why. If you're gonna copy someone's lineup, be like, I know why I'm copying it. You know. Anyway, all right. So let me show you what I was talking about. So I'll run off, I'll throw a purple, I'll throw a Pikmin on stage, and why I do that is a couple reasons. It will immediately, it throws one Pikmin on stage, but also allows me to run at my opponent and then turn my back to them. So let me show you that, I'll do it again. So run, throw Pikmin off, I can back air, but it also allows me to go deeper without the risk of having too many Pikmin to not be able to up B. So if you're pressuring someone off stage, you can run. You know, let's say you have a purple next, back air, then you have one less Pikmin to worry about one up being. But it's all, it needs to be a constant flow when you play. If you're segmenting, you're playing to constant, I have to do this, I have to do this, oh, I gotta get my grab here. Then you're going to stagnate because you're gonna find yourself having to think too often. It needs to be like riding a bike almost. And it's something you learn more the longer you play Olimar. But it's definitely an acquired skill that can, like, you need to work on honing it. Always keep an eye on your Pikmin. Generally, I look at Smash kind of like you look at a picture, right, or when you're driving, where you kind of just keep your eyes on the general, you know, field of view, and you don't focus on one specific thing, except for small instances where you need to. You know, it's like, all right, now we're up close. Now I can focus on just us. Other than that, all right, back to the Pikmin, or back, you know, back to the broader picture. And because you do that, it allows you to kind of always have, you know, keep some level of focus on the fact, on your lineup, which can let you, you know, always know what color you have. Throw the red off. Oops. Alright, I'm gonna try a different character now. I'm gonna try for Glory to do it against a live opponent to show you really what I'm talking about, how it can work in like a more realistic match. No contest. But generally, when you go into a match and you fight someone, you want to already have an idea of what kind of, like, what your ideal Pikmin are for this match, whether it be 2 purples and a yellow, or, you know, blues. And sometimes you're going to shift your lineup in a match. You know, maybe say you're fighting a Mario player, and you're... Do you want to be an example? Do you want to be the test dummy? The helpful person on Civil? Okay, I'll host up and you join my room and we'll do that. We'll play some games. So let's say you're fighting, you know, a Mario, right? And you have 2 purples and a blue, and you're kind of feeling him out. But he's playing a very hit-and-run style. He's using the platforms. He's using the platforms on the stage to really run around and give you the, you know, make it hard for you to catch him. So you go, all right, well, now I'm going to shift my lineup to a more grab-focused one. So maybe you'll ditch one of the purples, and then you'll go for a second blue. So you have 2 blues and a purple. And what this does is now, instead of focusing more on aerials with the grab supplement, you have focused more on grabs and aerial supplement, so you can maybe, you know, pressure, and then, you know, like, catch him with an aerial or something, then when he air dodges or something, then you have that second blue there to catch him with a grab. You can just go on, just fight me normally with Shulk. So let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. Like, pay attention especially to how I'm playing, and kind of notice how it's a very fluid interaction. I'm always trying to keep it going. So I start my match, throw red, yellow, like I was saying before, and now you know my mini goal, if you will, is to get that blue grab. But I notice it doesn't happen, so I stop worrying about it, and I notice, you know, I throw the blue. It's like, it's fine. I want to get the damage out. I want to start changing my lineup. I'm not super concerned with any one thing. You know, you're gonna play Olimar kind of like a normal Smash character, in the sense that as, you know, like, things change, you're gonna adapt to your playstyle, and that's where you'll change your lineup accordingly to it. Throw the white. Make sure to have the red in front so that I can get the red down throw. At this point, I see how he's kind of like sitting back. I'm not too worried about having the red. I'm not going to focus too heavily on a grab. I put the yellow in front there to make it a little bit easier to hit him on the ledge. Right here, I keep just one Pikmin because I'm not too worried about having multiple Pikmin. Right now, my main concern is pressuring him while he's in disadvantage. Get on the ground, get my 2 feet, pluck more Pikmin, cycle with an up air, get the white in front. Now I've got my second purple, down throw, up air because he's in shield. He's that up air as a bait. Land. Now I put the blue in front again. I have 2 purples. This is going to allow me heavy pressure if I can, you know, I want the grab, but I'm not focusing on it. You see that? I miss my grab, and now it's immediately start, you know, putting outside pressure. The fair. Throw the purple. See, I'm constantly using that purple to diffuse pressure. I'm using aerials even though they're not always hitting something because I want to be able to shift my lineup consistently. It's an always working gear. It never stops, you know? Yeah, the only real downtime is when you've got them off stage and you've already got the ideal lineup right there and you're getting ready to use it, or in between stocks and you're doing a quick shuffle. But generally, you're always wanting to do something. And like, I'm not saying do things just for the sake of doing things, right? But look at why you're doing them and go, okay, why did I do this up air? Oh, to get the purple in front. Why did I do the back air? All right, I wanted to pressure a shield with this and then, you know, get the blue in front so I could get a pivot grab mix up. Alright, throw the white because, you know, I get the pressure out and things like that. Okay, Uncivil. Throw. Don't focus too heavily, like I was saying. Like if you tunnel vision, it's more likely that your plan's gonna fail. Notice I did that red fair there to get the purple in front. Throw. Get the down throw, get the back air. Gonna throw the blue because I'm not super worried about it right now. Oh, that was supposed to be enough smash the other way. But you see how the blue wasn't a big concern for me at that point, and that's fine. Whistle the white back because I don't have any other Pikmin, and he didn't. And I want to get the. I want to get the. Have a Pikmin for some defense. Ooh, that sour spot. Gonna get rid of the. Not super concerned with having that red right now. My main concern is getting, you know, the back off of me and then starting to pressure with the purple. Throw the red away, not too worried about it this percent like I was saying. Right now it's just like a lot of feeling it out, throwing Pikmin, knowing when I'm gonna, you know, knowing how he's working around it. You can also use it as a way to like understand their movement patterns and how they deal with your pressure, right? You know, how they deal with you throwing a Pikmin at them, things like that. Is he gonna aerial? Is he gonna counter? Is he gonna jump over it? Side B, side B. Pluck, run back, pluck after the jab. Not trying to press my advantage. Want to get more Pikmin right now. Right there, I was fine with doing it with the blue. You don't always need to change your Pikmin. Sometimes you need to prioritize less about like the damage of the follow-up and more about getting them off of you. Messed that up. Get the white on him. It's fine. Down throw blue up air. You see how I'm like playing in a way where the colors kind of line up naturally almost. Throwing them, and I'm always making sure that you don't notice I'm not grabbing with the purple. It's like I'm grabbing with the blue because I'm letting the colors almost have slight influence on my decision. It's like, all right, hit them with the purple. Now, bam, blue grab. You know, things like that. It kind of flows naturally. It's like you're setting them up to almost play themselves at some point. And then you're going to want to make these last-minute decisions to be like, oh, well, now I don't grab, now I F-smash with the blue, and things like that. Like, it's a constant flow of things. You don't ever focus too heavily on one specific thing. You're going to tunnel vision, and it's going to make it much more difficult for you to be able to play. And your strategy's not going to work because it's going to be super predictable, and they're going to be like, oh, he's just going for the blue grab. And even though I'm breaking down a lot of the scenarios here about how I'm playing, don't focus too heavily on what I do. You know, like, make informed decisions for yourself about why you pick a certain lineup or how you manage your Pikmin. It really is all, you know, personal preference, but I just want to give you an idea on how I go about it, so that maybe you can kind of teach yourself how to work your strategy. Throw the red off. I want the purple in front. Get the back air. He's dead. That's one of the reasons why I really say, like, it doesn't matter so much the power of reds if you have a purple. It's just because they're that much better. Like, if they're going to hit harder and they have the same aerial range, then I don't really need, you know, to have... I don't really need to have a red or anything like that. Throw. You see how the colors kind of work for themselves? Pluck. Down smash on both. I think just doing Olimar, people just see not what one Olimar do in situations. I don't know, but Olimar Ditto is weird because you're constantly like slapping through them. I feel like an Olimar Ditto doesn't do it justice. Like, you can definitely manage Pikmin and stuff in like the Ditto, but it's different because you're also managing your opponents. One line of you enjoys double blue and a purple really high percentage. Anything will kill at this point and kill to it. Yeah, that's a different take on the double purple blue. It's like I mentioned this earlier. It's like if you're not worrying so much about, you know, getting the purple pressure or anything like that, the double blue makes it even scarier because you may, you know, shark with a blue up air once, but then you have another grab immediately thereafter. And that's why it's so deadly to do that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's constantly your lineup is always shifting. Sometimes you're gonna be like, I don't need the purple here now. Take it out. You know, understand why you're doing it. I'm going to do one more with you on Civil, and I think I'm going to wrap this up. Understand why you're kind of pressuring with the Pikmin you are, how they work, but it just needs to be a consistent flow. Know why you don't like Pikmin. Don't assume they're bad because you don't understand them. Don't go, oh, this is bad, oh, that's bad. Go, I don't like yellows because I find them not very useful. But understand their uses, so when you do need to use them, you will, because you will use every color at one point or another. And when you do, you want to make the most out of it. So yeah, I make sure to keep the blue. So if he deals with the other colors on him, I have the blue. Throw the white. Pressure to shield with the red, so I have the purple. It's little things like that that can really make a difference. Throw with the red, not gonna worry about it. Can't shield there. Reminder, if you're close enough on top of Olimar, both of his Pikmin will hit with down smash, causing double shield damage. And that's another reason yellows are really good. Yellows also have the most stun on smashes. The most they're the safest on shield, right? Compared to the others, because they have so much stun. So, and their extra range makes them really good for safe shield pressure and double hit down smashes. Those in purples. Purples do the most damage, but yellows have the most safeness to them. So that's my general thoughts on management. It's a very dynamic thing that you can't just do like one specific thing and always get the right answer. You want to have the more you do it, it's a work in progress to really optimize your gameplay. It's always pay attention to your line. Think, when I thought this action, what's next? You know, when you're not next to your opponent, maybe organize your line in a way to where you can start pressuring, and when you finish your little neutral interaction, you have the ideal lineup for when you win that interaction, and then now your advantage state's even stronger because now you have the blue Pikmin for the grab or the purple for the aerial. It's that constant awareness of what you're doing, and that's going to make a big difference. You know, if you're hitting with a yellow backer or a purple backer, there's a massive difference there, and these are going to help you clear stocks earlier because your hits are going to be more impactful. Yeah, you can, Kojin. Like these are broad ideas that you can apply to everyone else, but they're so tangible with Olimar that it's very important. If you play Olimar without actually managing Pikmin, you're pretty much just playing like an old Smash character, but you're so unoptimal. You're so much less efficient, right? So you're playing, just generally keep that broad view of the game, constantly look at your lineup, try to always know what color you have next. And because you're going to do that, it's going to be easier to, you know, keep the gears moving, keep that, you know, that boat going through the water, and it's always going to be flowing properly. And when you have to stop to segment it, it's fine. It's going to happen. Just focus on re-getting that footing and re-getting things moving, because once they start moving again, it's going to be so much easier. Like, I didn't want to delve into this topic. Like, I've racked my brain over teaching Pikmin management for the longest time, and it's such a hard concept to teach, because even now, you know, I gave a lot of pointers on it. I broke down how I was doing it, and it's still such a broad topic for Olimar. I don't feel I do it justice with just words. That's why I really recommend you watch high-level Olimars. You know, really pay attention to how they really work their line, because it's going to give you an idea. It's like, oh, he has this here, and then it's like, oh, he had the blue here for this grab finally, and then maybe go back 10 seconds and notice how he got the blue there. You know, notice how he kind of weaved it into the right spot in his lineup to where after he finished his neutral interaction, that blue was waiting. And it's once you pay attention to those interactions, it's gonna be so much easier to just kind of do them second nature. For me, Pikmin management's as easy as, you know, drinking a glass of water. It's so second nature at this point, because the more you do it, the better you get. Hey, Vinzi, how's it going? All right, let me see something real quick.